Hello and welcome to the Bober Academy Football Podcast. We are excited to bring back our Lineman of the Week series here for the 2022 season, where we're going to be highlighting great offensive line play throughout the Omaha metro area and surrounding areas. We're going to bring high school offensive linemen onto the show and their coaches and talk about their season, what they're doing, and everything to do with offensive line play. This podcast is brought to you by the Bober Academy. I started the Bober Academy in 2019 with the mission to train and develop superior linemen to dominate on the gridiron. I'm your host, Chris Bober, 8-year NFL veteran. I've started games in the NFL at every offensive line position, and I love dealing with anything to do with football, especially the offensive line. Now, if you are listening to this podcast, we're on your podcast app. Just be sure to click the subscribe button. So make sure that you're getting notified of our weekly shows. We do a lot of different shows out there. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, click the little button down there to subscribe to our channel and also the notification bell. We would love your comments and your feedback. And if you're seeing this anywhere out there on social media, feel free to like, share, retweet, comment, whatever goes on out there in the social media world. We want to spread the message of great offensive line play. So thank you for joining us. Let's get to the show. Okay, now as we are back in the Bober Academy football studio, i.e. my office here, we welcome in a couple of guys from the Bennington Badgers, man. The Badgers are on a roll. I got, of course, head coach Kam Lenhart here, who is having a great couple seasons, just a couple seasons into his Bennington career. He's only lost 2 games, so they're on quite a roll. And, of course, I got the right guard O-lineman Tyler Mead, the only senior on the O-line. So we thought we'd bring him in here, talk a little Badger football, guys. Thanks for coming out tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Okay, Coach, let's start with you. Now, of course, I was on the call for your view in Cox. So if anyone wants to go watch it, it's out there to watch the Badgers play Elkhorn. And that was a heck of a football game, right? 2 really good football teams, good young coaches, very well coached. And I'd love to get your takeaways from the game because that game started out and Elkhorn pretty much played their perfect first half all up until the fumble.
Yep.
And you guys get that fumble and you guys are ruthless, man. You are going to score if you get an opportunity. So that fumble started you guys. You were down 6-7. You go into halftime up 13-7, come out and get a couple touchdowns right away, kind of establish yourself in the third quarter. And then it was a matter of just kind of playing keep away. After watching the film and going back and talking to the guys, tell me about that game and your takeaways from it. You know, there's a big difference from that fumble is like the pivot point. But what in your mind did you see in the game on the film, and then what did you tell your guys about that, the difference between before that and after?
Well, I think it starts with our defensive side. You know, they drove down the field right away, but just the way that Elkhorn plays offense, it is a physical run at you offense, and I think it just took a little time for our guys to adjust. But what I loved about it is they didn't hang their heads after they scored that first touchdown. You know, they knew that they just needed to get the feel of what it was going to be like, and that they would figure it out as time went on. So I was really proud of that. And then as offense, you know, we would have been down 6-7 going in if not for the fumble. But I felt like our offense was really doing a lot of things better than what I had seen them do in the first half of the previous 4 games that we had played. And so, you know, we took advantage of that opportunity there at the end of the half. And you could just tell when we got into the locker room, the offense was really feeling good. And, you know, knowing that they were going to get the ball again, start that half. And you could just tell things were clicking. And it's kind of been our theme all year that we're a second half team and the offense really comes out. And so just seeing those guys be ready to go, I was ready to get back on the field right away. And they did exactly what they needed to do. We came out second half, came firing. Defense continued to get some takeaways, which always helps us in the end, and able to do what we need.
Nice. How about you, Tyler? Tell me about, you know, it seems like that was a turning point when you guys had that opportunity with the short field. You capitalized, and then it was just kind of pedal to the metal from there. What was it like out there in the trenches with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, the energy was great. We had really explosive plays after the turnover. There was a kind of a mentality that we needed to score. You know, this was a great opportunity for our offense, and we needed to capitalize on it. And then, you know, with that drive, that really helped build our momentum and our confidence against our opponent, and it really helped. So coming into half 13-7, we could tell we had great energy, and you know as the game goes on, we were getting more comfortable. just with what we have to do assignment wise, and just kind of getting a feel for how the defense we were facing plays. So going out to that second half, we were energy was high all the way through the rest of the game, and yeah, that's what allowed us to score.
Yeah, sometimes the difference in a game with two good opponents is those turnovers, and taking advantage of them was such a big deal. But like you said, Coach, your defense played amazing. That Lord said, "Holy cow, that guy can't be blocked," and it did some great things. D line played really well, but let's talk about your offense. So I love this offense, right? I love how you set it up because it's a philosophy, I feel, where you're going to spread the field, right? You got 4 receivers on the field all the time, and you still run the ball out. That's your first thing. You want to run the football. You also feature a quick, short passing game, and you have a quarterback that can implement. He sees the field really well. Ball comes out, and when you spread the field like that, you're asking or you're forcing the defenders to make a one-on-one tackle, and your guys are really good at breaking them. And then what you guys do, you guys have this RPO game. Now, I have not seen the RPO run in high school like this, but your quarterback, running back, and receivers, and a line, of course, up front, execute that very, very well. How you want to go against your opponents. It seems like spread them out, get the ball to playmakers, let them make plays.
Yeah, I would say that's what's beautiful about it is every play a kid has an opportunity to make the play, and it doesn't matter where they're at. It's called inside zone, but that doesn't mean that we're only going to run the ball. Trey can pull it, he can throw it, he can run it. It just creates opportunity for a lot of guys to do it, and we have found just when kids have that opportunity, they want to play that much more for you. They're excited. And what this group has really figured out is that we don't need the huge play every time. Those short things build themselves up, and short plays and short gains eventually turn into big gains because you just wear teams down. Nice thing about our guys is we can get it out quick and we can make teams run sideline to sideline. And when you do that, it doesn't matter who you are. Now, what we have to make sure is we can be consistent at it. It's still hard no matter who you are to build 10, 12 play drives. But if our guys can be consistent, it's tough for a defense to stop, especially you think it's a run and it gets dumped off right behind you. And Trey does a really good job at just seeing that. And it's tough. A defensive guy at practice trying to defend him every day it gets you frustrated. I know our guys do when we have to play against him, but it's fun when he's on your side of the team come Friday night.
Yeah. So Tyler, tell me about this offense, right? You're out there at right guard, and it seems like they ask a lot of you guys because you run so many different types of plays. What's it like being a lineman for this spread, but very fast paced, very versatile offense?
Yeah, for the line, we kind of simplify it down. We've got, we try to focus on, more gap sound. If it's inside zone, we're worried about getting movement up front of the D lineman, and then as those backers come, picking them up. And that, simplifying it down is what allows us as linemen to, kind of make sure we're doing our jobs right. And then we just have incredible athletes, at the skills positions that are able to make plays and use our blocks to go do some incredible things.
Yeah, and you guys do execute it really, really well. But Coach, let's talk about your quarterback here for a second, right? And you're very blessed to have this guy on your team because I tell you what, he is as good of a high school quarterback as I've seen. He sees the field so well. Like a lot of teams try to run what you're running, but they don't have that guy back there that can deliver the ball to the open guy, right? You can't cover everyone.
Yeah.
But then, he sees it so well. He's so accurate with that short game. And it seems like it's almost like you're just, okay, get 5 yards, get 6 yards. And then all of a sudden you run a double move and boom, over the top. But of course, we talked about the RPO game and his ability to process that, which is super rare for a kid of his age. And to top it off, when he gets outside the pocket, he can throw the ball down the field, and he's pretty accurate and pretty good at doing that.
Yeah.
What's it like having that guy? It's like a toy you can have out there. But tell me about what it's like to have a guy like that behind the center.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think Trey is fortunate enough that he had his older brother to look up to when he was younger. Kale was our quarterback my first year there. So in reality, I've had only a bird as my quarterback since I've been here. We're seeing if his little sister next year will be able to take over for the spot. But no, Trey. And then last year, I think was just tremendous in the fact that he got once again, he had a ton of playmakers around him where he could just really kind of settle in and kind of learn what Coach Bird, our offensive coordinator, wanted him to do. We didn't ask too much of him last year, but just having that extra year, to start as a junior and then come this year, now you can see he has the basics down. Now we're picking up and able to do those, what you say, maybe those extra things that teams maybe don't always get to do because they don't have that experience beforehand. But at the end of the day, too, Trey, he's a baller. He wants to make plays. He has the ability to. He's confident in himself. That's a huge part. I think to do what he does, you got to have confidence and you got to be okay to make mistakes. He's not perfect in practice by any means, but he goes back. It doesn't affect him. And I'd say the last thing too, he trusts the guys around him that they're going to be there for him when he needs it.
Yeah, I mean, how about you, Tyler? I mean, do you see the same thing out there? But quarterbacks have usually a special relationship with their line. What's it like blocking for that guy?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice as long as we do our job and keep him from getting touched. He can really he can really make plays. Um, you know, Obviously on like pass plays, um, we just you know he gets the ball off quick. So
Yeah.
we give him enough time, but we only got to give him most times 2-3 seconds, and he's got it dumped off to somebody. So it's really nice. From our
Yeah,
perspective.
it's so nice to have a quarterback that processes. Most quarterbacks at this level, yeah, they can get it out, but they got to figure out who's going to. Also, coach, you throw those extra wrinkles in, and you pull out the option again, which doesn't come out very often. Comes out versus Elkhorn, and it worked. Usually big plays. Then he had that option pass on 4th down. That, I mean, I wanted that as our feature play of the game because to make that pass under that kind of pressure on 4th down in a big moment in that game was just unbelievable. But you also have some pretty good skill players around him, right? You got Nick Culver comes in there, and he is a guy who's stepping in for a 3,000-yard rusher, one of the best running backs in any class in the history of Nebraska. And it doesn't seem like you're missing that much of a beat. I know he doesn't do exactly what Mostek did, right? You don't run the outside zone as much. A little more inside guy, a little slippery kind of guy. But between him and then Isaac Connor, who has a great relationship with the quarterback, makes big plays. You got some pretty good skill players out there besides having just your quarterback.
Yeah, we do. And like you said, I think it's all the way around. You see those two a lot, but Johnny Williams has made plays.
Mhm.
KJ Taffa has made plays. Ben Jorgensen, he had the huge catch over the top last game against Elkhorn. And I think that's another thing that just helps Trey is he can throw it to any one of those guys that he knows that they'll be there for him. Nick, if you talk about him, like you said, shifty and just gets vertical so quick. And I think his size, sometimes people may think, well, he's small. That's his benefit. He can sneak behind things. He's hard to tackle. He doesn't take a lot of big shots. And so he gets up, pops up quick, and he's ready to go again. But those guys, you could just see they got the chemistry because of how good of friends and how close they are. They do a ton of the work in the offseason, and it's just good to see that when you put that time and effort in, how truly well it's paying off for them now.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. But Tyler, tell me about this because Jake and Cody and Jameson last year. You had 5 seniors on the O line, right? And I coached several of those guys. They're really good football players, and 5 seniors. And then this year, 5 new guys get to step up. Tell me what was that like, right? Okay, we had this super offensive line, and now we got to fill their shoes. And you guys have done a really good job with it. But what was it like having to step up and replace an entire 5-man unit and see you guys doing so well early in the season?
I mean, it was obviously a challenge. We faced some adversity, kind of getting used to each other because, we had guys coming all the way from the freshman level, the JV level, and then there was a couple of us who were practicing with the varsity at that second string position. And so we hadn't really had much experience with each other, but, we did a lot of work in the off season. The whole line kind of, has grown really close together as friends as well. And, just getting that game experience these first couple of games has really helped us kind of get a feel for each other's abilities. It's helped us be able to trust each other a lot better, and we've got you know we try not to look in the past as much. We can't look back and be wishing we still had some of those guys playing for us because we've got really capable athletes at the line right now, and we've just got to continue to work in practice and every week to make sure we're, getting better and really kind of reaching our full potential. And the good news is with a younger line, a lot of those guys, with the experience they're getting this year, that's just all the better they're going to be in the years to come.
Nice. I love to hear it. I love to hear the older guys talking about the younger guys. Coach, what was it like replacing 5 linemen? Obviously, tell me about what your guy Tyler has done as the only senior up there and being a leader. But I know Jack's been in my stuff. I've coached him. But tell me about your guys up front and what they're bringing to this offense.
I would just echo what Tyler said. We knew we were going to be young. We believed they had potential, but it was just going to take time to settle in. What I would say too is a lot of those guys are seizing their opportunity. Unfortunately, we had some injuries at the start of the year, guys that we thought might be the starters, but just something with a knee or something like that went down. But these younger guys, Jacob Schrader in particular, who's starting center for us, sophomore, if you would have told me at the beginning of the year that he was going to be starting center, I wouldn't have believed it, but he sees his moment, he sees his opportunity. Now he's been the guy for the last 4 or 5 games now, and he's doing fantastic. Does he make mistakes? Yes, but that's to be expected. But as Tyler echoed, these guys, what I would say more than ever, come to work every day wanting to get better. Coach Bradburn does a fantastic job with them. I love that they're asking questions every day. They make their mistakes, but they own up to it and they move forward. And I can continually see them taking steps to where we need to be for the end of the season as we get closer to the playoff time.
Yeah, I mean it's a long season, and you got some good opponents coming up. Tyler, tell me about your alignment, okay? This is the time in the show when you get to maybe tell me some funny stories. Who thinks they're the pretty one? Who's the one that's kind of crazy, and who's the one that's kind of lost? Just you got to help along. Tell me. I want some dirt on these guys. I want people to hear this and be like, that's pretty funny because O-line, they're pretty tight. I'm sure you guys are really tight because you guys probably sat back and said, okay, listen, I'm waiting for opportunity. Now you have it. But tell me some personality stuff about these guys up front.
Yeah, so with our left tackle, Jimmy, he's kind of crazy. He's just a, you know, he's 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 something else. I don't even know how to describe him. He be sitting in class and he'll just be listening to like rock music or just really, heavy stuff just while he's working on like a math assignment or something. And I just find that funny. Gage, he's a character. He's our left guard. He's stepped up recently and done a really good job. But he's almost like a dad. If I had to say anything about him, he's just kind of got that golf attire sometimes, and just his mannerisms, things he has to say. That's just what he reminds me of the most. And then Strader, our center, he has the funniest questions. I don't even know. You think he's joking sometimes, but some of the things that come out of his mouth that you got to wonder, you know, what's going on up there. But and then lastly, with our right tackle, Jansen, he's one of those guys where he's just pretty happy, just kind of in school. He's nice. He just kind of he's always got a smile on his face, and then when he gets on the line, he kind of flips the switch and he becomes really aggressive and physical. But that's what it takes to be on the line, get people moved around. So.
Nice. Jans is my guy, man. I worked with him all summer. He's a good guy. I got to say congratulations after the game, and it's fun to see guys like that succeed. All right, Coach. One other question I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
You guys really don't have any two-way players, right? It's pretty rare at any high school level to not do that, and it's easy for people to say, well, they have enough guys, they don't have to play two-way. But I also know that it takes some discipline to do that too, right? So tell me about your philosophy of that, because it's rarely seen, but it feels like the third and fourth quarter, you guys seem to still continue to play at a higher level, where most of these schools you're playing, they have guys that are playing both ways. And it would be really easy to probably take some guys and say, listen, we're going to maybe have this guy play two ways or this guy, but you kind of stick with that. How's that worked out for you? And how'd you kind of come to that saying, we're going to go with this philosophy?
Well, it's a little bit of everything. I was fortunate enough to listen to Coach McLaughlin talk at a coach's clinic one year, and that just always stuck out when he said he's at Millard West. He had two-way players, and he stacked the defense, and he made them really good. And if you win a game 6-0, that's still winning. And then we were fortunate enough. We have Coach Tom Olson, who's the head coach at Norfolk for a lot of years. So he joined our staff this year, and they were two or one-way players there at Norfolk. And he just talked about the benefits that he saw, and it was an idea that we have so many kids that want to play football at Bennington, which is fantastic, and we have a lot of talented players that want to play. And so I guess just hearing all these thoughts there, thinking that the more talent that we can get on the field, the better. We may not have, as the coach looks at it, the best 11 all the time, but you see when those guys get to practice one way every day, all week. They become pretty dang good football players. And we're fortunate enough that we can do that. And every game that we've been in this year, you can just see in the third and fourth quarter, we're a little bit more fresh and our guys know what they're doing. And, we talked a little bit earlier about how Trey's able to do those nuances at the quarterback positions. Does he get to do that if he has to go play DB half the week? A guy that's probably never going to play DB. What's the purpose of having him drill defensive back position if he's never going to step on the field? Whereas I got a guy who maybe will be a DB in the future. Now he's getting DB reps every single day, and he's going to become a pretty good defensive back for us come his junior or senior year. And so the nice thing about it is we've bought into the system and we've had success. So that makes it a little bit easier. Now, if we were 0-5, would I feel as confident in it? I don't know. But right now, I firmly believe it works. We're seeing it at the JV level where we have some guys that are newer to the game and having to learn on the fly. And we're making adjustments as we go. But I think for Bennington football and for the future of it, it's going to be a tremendous benefit, for us moving forward.
Yeah, and you get these young guys that are playing, if they had to go rep half the practice at D-line, you wouldn't have this probably level of success. So I realize it's easy to say, well, they have the numbers, they can do that, but it also takes a lot of discipline to do it too. So that's pretty an interesting take, and I see it paying off for you. How about you, Tyler? What's it like having to play just O-line? Like I did that in college and the NFL, and but I couldn't even imagine in high school saying, okay, you're an O-lineman, go be a good O-lineman.
Yeah, and it's really nice as far as I'm concerned because it really allows me to have all the time in the week to ask questions about O-line, assignments. It helps me focus on technique, and I just get to see, only like the O-line look. If that's what I'm going to be playing, that's the look I want to see. So I get to practice that position all week against a very great, very good defense. And when it comes, Friday night. Once we start getting even second quarter, especially into the second half, and we're taking the field, we're ready to go, we're energized, heads are up, we're looking to move some people, and the D line across from us, they're hanging their heads and they're gasping for air. So I think that's really allowed us to just, especially late in the game, get movement and really start stacking on the points. I think it's been really beneficial in that respect.
Yeah, I definitely saw that in the game, and you can see it on film. But all right, Coach. So it looks like you guys got through a pretty tough part of your schedule, but it doesn't necessarily get super easy. You got Blair coming this week. It's a good football team.
Yep.
And then you got obviously a young Westview team. Elkhorn North's a team on the rise. I'm gonna go watch them play the Antlers this week. And then Mount Michael. Tell me about the rest of the season. I mean, it's easy to say, okay, we're 5-0, and we got it made. But how is it as a coach trying to get your guys to stay up and work hard and know that at any moment any of these teams could pick you off, right?
Yep.
Is it about getting better every day, or do you have everyone wants to win a state championship, obviously, but what is your day-to-day and week-to-week kind of philosophy with these guys?
Well, we talked about at the beginning of the year that obviously our goal is to win a state championship, but we don't get there unless we choose to get better every day. And so we really reiterate to our guys, you have to make a choice every day to have the best practice or best game you've ever played. So right now our full focus is going to be on Blair, but right now our full focus needs to be on Thursday's practice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the philosophy we've taken since we've gotten here, is we want to just get better every single day. And what's beautiful is that our kids buy into that. I said the game will get here soon enough, and we'll play it. But right now, our full focus needs to be on having the best Thursday practice we've ever had. And we just reiterate that over and over. The other thing that we do is we have our unit leaders, which we got 10 of them, 10 fantastic unit leaders. Those guys really reiterate that as well every day. And when you see our captains, our unit leaders talk that kind of way, you know you have really good guys, and you know something's going right for you.
Nice. Tyler, how about you as a senior? You right? Senior year, you're out there starting, and you're, about halfway through the season. What's the talk in the locker room between the players and not just what the coaches say, but with the guys?
Yeah, I mean, there's not, the players don't really say anything off the field that they're not saying on the field. We have a really good job of just kind of staying focused on this week. We don't have guys talking about, oh, I can't wait to play so and so, or this game 3 weeks from now or 4 or whatever. It's going to be tough. We're focused on this week and what we've got to do in order to prepare for that game. And so one thing we're really focusing on is just not to get complacent. We're 5-0. We've had a great season so far, but we can't be satisfied. We have to stay hungry. We have to, keep getting better and play to our standard. And we're going to, chase our goals. But it just starts right here, right now. And we, echo that like from the coaches all the way down to the players. Everybody's bought in and has helped us succeed.
Awesome. Guys, I tell you, I really appreciate you coming on here and talking to me, just seeing what you guys were able to accomplish and getting some of the backstory, hearing your philosophy coach. And of course, Tyler, hearing you guys sure have it going on out there in Bennington. And I just want to wish you guys the best of luck the rest of the season. You guys are fun to watch. I love to see I noticed in the game, all the little things you do, right? Just like catching, you guys never let a punt at the ground, right? You're always, those little things start adding up. And you see that success, and it doesn't always come in the first quarter or the second quarter, but you stack those up and it equals success. So it was great to hear the inside knowledge from you guys and how you guys are doing that. And again, I want to wish you the best of luck, Coach. Tyler, enjoy your senior year. Senior high school football is one of the best years of your life, one of the best seasons you have, and just enjoy every minute with your boys out there. And best of luck the rest of the season to you guys. Good luck with the Badgers. Thanks for coming on the show with me.
Well, thank you. Thank you for all you do for high school football.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
The Bober Academy Football Podcast is available on all podcast platforms. So wherever you listen to your podcast, we're going to be on there. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. That way you get notified of new episodes. Also, we are on YouTube. If you want to find us on YouTube, just search for the Chris Bober Lineman Academy, and be sure to also subscribe to our page. Click the notification bell and feel free to comment, share everything that goes on there. We're on social media as well. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We even have a page on TikTok. So the more you can follow us out there, the more we can spread the message of great offensive line play out there. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, be sure to reach out to us through any of those social media channels and spread the word. We want to get offensive line play great here and everywhere across the area.